Hey, it's Kat. Welcome to my official first YouTube video. Now, I'm calling this my official first video because the other two I have up weren't really videos I was planning on posting up to YouTube. They were really just vlog entries from the first two ayahuasca ceremonies I had that I was just gonna share with family and friends. Now, this video is basically what my life has been like after ayahuasca, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. I don't even know why it took me so long to make this video. Actually, I do know, but I'll get into that after. But basically this video is gonna tie those other two videos up because I know I only made 2 vlog entries, but in reality I had 7 ceremonies. So let's just get into that right now. So in December 2017, I went down to the Amazon jungle in Peru and I had 7 ceremonies. I have 2 videos up on YouTube of my first 2 ceremonies. Now, during my 3rd ceremony, Mother Ayahuasca actually asked me not to film any more of my experiences or to share them with anybody. So I respected those wishes and I did not create any videos for that. However, I did keep a journal and I wrote down all of the insights and all of the amazing things that I was shown and taught. While in the jungle, my heart was completely open. I was so in tune with nature. I loved everyone and everything. I loved myself. It was just a magical experience. Now, 2018, that was my first year and it was pretty chill. I would literally wake up and dance around the house. So, some context there. In 2018, I used to work from home for a cannabis company and I loved my job. I mean, I was helping people heal themselves using cannabis, teaching them how to use it and all that. I loved it. But I was no longer growing, in my career, and the company I was working for, they had kind of capped me at a certain threshold that I was never going to move up. And I knew that I not only had the ability but the desire to do so much more. So I was kind of a crossroads, Do I stay in my comfort zone or do I take a risk and do something totally different? And that year, 2018, I was really into learning about digital marketing. For some reason, I was trying to teach myself, and I was like, hey, maybe I should just go to school for it. And that was kind of like where the risky part came in, meaning I had to leave a full-time job that I loved in order to go and chase another dream, which I had no idea what was going to happen. So my goal was to start my own digital marketing business, and I don't know, the universe just was like, hey girl, do your thing, I got your back. So, scary, but I took the leap. That was 2018. So I didn't actually go to school in 2018. I made the decision actually in December 2018, so a year right after my ayahuasca experience. Now, throughout that year, I was so open, and I mean, my intuition was loud. It was on point. I was so happy. I could feel that I was vibrating at a way higher frequency. Now, why do I say that? Is because when I was leaving the jungle, we were advised, if you use cannabis, not to use it for at least a month. I went a little extreme. I didn't use it for 4 months, but that was just because I didn't feel like I needed it. I usually needed it for depression, anxiety, migraines, but I wasn't really dealing with any of that. As a matter of fact, the time that I did use it, just because I wanted to, I didn't really need it, I actually did not feel the same. Like, if you're a cannabis user, you know that if you don't use it for a few months, your tolerance goes up. But in my case, I didn't feel anything, meaning it was like using cannabis the first time ever. I didn't get high. As a matter of fact, I didn't even enjoy it. I almost felt like it made me less happier. Like it brought my vibration down a notch. But other than that, I was very open and I had so much compassion for people, and I mean so much compassion and patience. Like, the old me would have slapped somebody if they were an asshole, but in this case, I just felt so much compassion for them and love, because I understood that they had so much unlearning to do and relearning how to live from the heart. So trust me, I was like a changed person. And I was also questioning, like I said, my career. You know, like, what do I want to do? Am I happy here? Am I being valued? Am I just here out of pure comfort? Like, I want to grow. I want to expand, even if that means taking leaps into scary situations that are really unknown to me. Which I'm so happy that I did, because it all worked out in the end. Now, let's fast forward. 2019. What was that like? Yo, wake the fuck up. There's shit that you need to be doing, and you need to start this year, like right now, like yesterday. It all started after I finished school. So my school was at the beginning of 2019, and it was intense, let me tell you that. Like, I literally cried in class a few times. I mean, like, we all did, okay? It was intense. But as soon as that was over and I had my own business and things were great, that's when spirituality and my guides kind of started being like, all right, now's the time to pressure you to move forward into the path that you know you're supposed to take, but you've been avoiding. And it all started on summer solstice. Exactly the day, summer solstice. I fell into this really weird feeling of like heaviness and darkness and depression. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the dark night of the soul, and I'll make a video on that because I feel like people need to learn more about that, so that when they go through it, to know that it's a normal part of spiritual awakening, and it's not something that you need to be put on medication for, but it can feel pretty intense. Now, mine lasted 4 months. And for those 4 months, I felt like hell. And I mean, like, I felt like this darkness was over me all the time. And by that, I mean, like, with the same intensity that I could feel love and compassion and connectedness, I could feel the opposite. I could feel the chaos of the world. I could feel people's pain. I could feel the pain that the planet is going through. I mean, like, I could feel the pain that the Amazon jungle was going through before I even found out that it happened. When I did find out, I broke down. I felt so much pain and so helpless. And I think that was also the moment that woke me up. During my last ceremony, I had made some promises to Mother Ayahuasca. And, you know, I wanted to be more of service to the planet, to humanity, because it's kind of a path that I've been walking on for a really long time, since I was younger, and not usually something that I talk about with people. I've been very quiet and isolated a lot, but I think it's now time that I speak out on the things that I'm meant to help people transition through these hard times, as well as help the earth. You know, and I feel that we can only do this as a collective. So I really just want to help you raise your consciousness, raise your frequency, so that we can all shift together. So, summer solstice. Whew, summer solstice was a dark time for me. You know, while everybody was out there having a hot girl summer, I was having like a meltdown summer, and I didn't even know why. It was just crazy. All to say, I dealt with it. And at that same time, when I had that wake-up call, you know, the Amazon is burning, and the promises that I had made to Mother Ayahuasca were basically, you know, how can I be of service? And it wasn't going to be through creating awareness groups or raising more funds, because all that has been tried before and it has failed. So I came to the conclusion that the only way that we can help the earth is if we all raise our consciousness, because raising our consciousness is going to actually bring us back into connectedness with ourselves, with our true nature, because we are not separate from it. We are actually one. We are the trees and the flowers and the animals and the stars and the sand and the oceans. We are all that. I know sometimes, you know, we're living these mundane lives, so it's hard to feel that. So this year was really about going through that dark night of the soul, which is basically my soul expanding and growing itself while the ego is dying and trying to hold on to shit that no longer serves you, you know, things that you need to outgrow in order to move forward and expand. But the ego's always trying to hold on to something, trying to keep you the same. I'll make a full video on that actually. Because I wish that I had known what was happening to me at that moment. And I'm sure a lot of us go through it not knowing what to do or what is happening. And it can be a very confusing time. So 2019 is also when I really started feeling the guidance from my spirit guides a bit more, really pushing me. And I say pushing because you know, there's certain things that I'm being guided to do that kind of terrify me, like starting a YouTube channel. Honestly, something that I said I was going to do 8 years ago, but it scares me in a way, and I can tell you why, but like that would be a whole different video about my traumatic experiences. I know that it's been almost 2 years since my ayahuasca experience, and to be honest with you, I am still receiving insights and information. I often read my ayahuasca journal entries and I'm like, wow, this is what they were trying to teach me, and I just understood that now. Because when you go through the ceremonies, there's so much information being downloaded that you're just like getting bits and pieces, you know? I mean, 2018 was all chill and loving myself and loving everybody, while 2019 was like, all right, you're gonna change your career, start a business, get back on your spirituality, start walking down the path that you're meant to walk on. So it's been a pretty crazy year. This is also one of the reasons why I hadn't made this video yet, because there was just so much happening. 2018, I feel like I didn't really have any update. I mean, life was great, you know. 2019 was just a busy year, but so necessary. You know, people always used to ask me like 6 months later after doing ayahuasca, like, would you ever do it again? And I would be like, hell no. But it's been some time now, and I see how much it's actually taught me and how I'm still being guided. I mean, I still had to take the scary risks and leaps of action, like leaps of faith, to get to where I am. I mean, I could have stayed in my comfort zone, but I didn't. I took that risk, made moves, and changed my life. And now I'm being asked to change my life again. And I'm gonna follow through. I'm going to be making a lot more videos and sharing my experiences and tips that could help you raise your consciousness and raise your frequency so that you can become more connected with yourself and experience all that there is. Feel free to subscribe so you can get notified when I upload new stuff. Thanks for watching.